The chief law enforcement officer in the new Free Republic of Florida is a young woman by the name of Ashley Moody. She's a very sharp woman. Many of you might recognize her from some of the live events that we've done with the governor. Earlier today, her office issued a warning about a scam that's going on with cryptocurrency. Now, full disclosure, in 2019, I had counseled people perhaps Bitcoin might be a good investment. At that time, Bitcoin was trading at around 6,300. Well, today it's trading at around 63,000. So whatever money you would have put in at that time, it would be worth 10 times as much. But in today's video, I'm actually going to counsel the opposite because something has happened. Something has changed. Now is the time to get out of all cryptocurrencies, and it's actually tied to an announcement made by our Attorney General. Ashley Moody, consumer alert, cryptocurrency bait and switch scam popping up in Florida. One of the big attractive elements of cryptocurrency, for those of you who don't understand it, is that it was virtually impossible to do things like this with crypto. Well, the game has changed dramatically since 2019 with the advent of large world governments getting involved in it. Now it's a currency much like any other. Its entire value is now supported by fiat currencies, not the network. And when the dollar bubble pops, it's going to go down, all cryptocurrencies with it. And this is evidence of it. Tallahassee, Florida. Attorney General Ashley Moody today issued a consumer alert about a cryptocurrency scam targeting Floridians through Facebook, Instagram, and other social media platforms. The bait and switch investing scheme hooks targets by first helping them earn profits, then encouraging the targets to transfer funds to a fraudulent trading platform. You see, you'll put the money in, and then you'll start making money. And you'll be like, well, this can't possibly be a scam. I'm actually money ahead right now. And then they're going to give you counsel to, invest in this one and then invest in that one. And you'll see your money go up and up and up and up. And then they're going to drop in a fake one. And you're going to transfer the money into it and it's going to be gone. Now, some might say, well, how can they do this? I thought cryptocurrency was beyond fraud. Well, blockchain has been compromised. Something has happened in China. They have achieved supremacy. Now, I know that seems like, not supremacy. They have achieved primacy. It's a specific term used for when quantum computers exceed the capabilities of the most sophisticated supercomputers. And that has occurred. Now, blockchain, for those of you who don't understand how cryptocurrency works, I'm going to do a little 30 to 45 second primer on it. Basically, the idea is this. If you want to have a transaction with a person where they have something you want and you want to give them something of value for it, the real argument is about the security of the transaction. See, it used to be we had faith in gold. Well, people started painting random rocks gold, and you couldn't really tell if they gave you a giant bag full of gold pieces, how many of those were real and how many of those were not. So then they made coins that had stamps on it that governments put their name to, and then it was paper money, and then it was digital money. And you got a little card that had a PIN number. So you didn't have to walk around with all that cash. And you knew that if you needed cash, you could just go to an ATM, put in your card, get out the money, right? That's basically what goes on with Bitcoin, but instead of the PIN number being 4 digits, it's literally millions of digits. They create this giant transactional account that is permanent and unalterable, created by algorithms. And it's virtually, that's the key word here, impossible to duplicate with a normal computer. And that's what gave Bitcoin its value. You could transfer value for value. I have X amount of Bitcoin. You have certain thing that I want, whether it be food or services or whatever. I'll give you that. You give me this. And the more people that have faith in the security of the transactions, and the more people who have nodes, meaning the network upon which all this is done, the more secure the transactions. Basically, it's the idea, it's really socialized money, if you think about it. It's a form of socialism just in money, because everybody is supposed to have a node, meaning a little cruncher that crunches these algorithms to give the network the security. Well, there's a problem now. The networks are no longer secure. You see, if the ATM wasn't secure, anybody can get a drill and drill in, take out the cash. You didn't lose anything. Well, guess what? If somebody drills in to a crypto network, everybody loses everything. And some people say, well, you can't eat cash. What are we supposed to do? If you can't use crypto, we know the dollar's going down. You see, 2 Chinese teams have reached primacy with quantum computers. This was the term I was using earlier. They have now created quantum computers that are so fast and so powerful that they can outcrunch any algorithm. Meaning they can crack any network. 2 teams in China are claiming they have reached primacy with their individual quantum computers, Both have published the details of their work in the journal Physical Review Letters. In the computer world, quantum primacy is the performance of calculations that are not feasible on conventional computers, using the term quantum advantage. Now, the numbers that they talk about here are just mind-boggling. I mean, the speed of it, I'll give you the links to these 2 articles that talk about this, but the point is this. I saw this article with Rubio talking about how big business is not our ally in the fight against socialism. The funny thing about this is that the idea of saving money is going away. This is the real idea, because for future economies to work, the money you earn, the resources you have, they're going to virtually require be transferred into something you need immediately. Meaning the idea of monies or currencies just sitting there in people's banks or in their crypto accounts or even cash money under the pillow, all that's going away. All that is really going away, and that's the reality here. That's exactly what they did in Venezuela. That's why Venezuela at the time had to get rid of the bolivar and go to cryptocurrencies to keep things going. There's articles released today, 1 November, actually yesterday, 2021, that shows how U.S. intelligence meddled in Venezuelan elections via social media to create this. Well, this is what had to happen. And the Bible talked about this, where they said that man would trade an entire day's labor for what he had to eat, and he would be forced to do it. That's really what's happening. 1 second while I get the right picture here. We are going to go eventually, very soon, to an economy where what you earn, the money you have, is going to be immediately. People talk about money going right through your hands. Well, guess what? All of it is going to have to be accounted for. You're going to have to make a plan for every dime of it. Every single dime. And it's going to be gone boom, 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 auto-drafted. Okay, so you need this much money for this much money for that, this much money. Okay, so you have this extra amount of money. Okay, you need to convert that extra amount of money into some economic activity. It's going to be you must spend it. Because to have it setting in bank accounts or in crypto accounts or in any other form where it's just currency doing nothing, they're not going to allow it. This is why my advice is, people have said, well, we're going to stock up on food. We're going to stock up on food. You can do that for a certain amount of time. But one thing that you can invest in is you. This would be my humble suggestion if anybody would ask me, what should we do about this? Learn how to do things. Take that money, that excess currency, and put it into skills training. I don't care what it is. If you don't know how to do it, go learn how to do it. Because what's going to happen after that is there's going to have to be some type of an underground economy, because people are going to want their own stash, so to speak, of a hidden ability to have some type of a value that nobody knows about. Everybody wants their own stash. This is a psychology thing that, once again, those in social media, those in big business, those in government do not understand. It's just a natural part of the human condition that no matter how nice you have it, if you owned your house, owned your cars, had money put away for a retirement, and had everything gained, you'd still want your own stash, your own little secret kitty to go do this, go do that, some type of a slush fund. Governments hate that. Governments loathe that, because when you have hundreds of millions of people squirreling away thousands of dollars, that's, what does that come to? That's billions of dollars squirreled away. If you have 100 million people, each with $1,000 savings account, what's 100 million times 1,000? That's $1 billion. And how many times have we heard Biden say this? All these people and all this money, and they're not paying their fair share and all this. See, that's the key to them. You see, it's their money, and they want to use it, and they want you to use it in a way that they want you to use it. That's the real thing with control. This is also one of the reasons that I've promoted the Patriot Nurse, because smart woman, incredibly smart woman, because she took a skill, nursing, and they had locked down that profession to where you couldn't literally change anybody's Band-Aid without a license, without government permission, meaning. And she found a way to take the skills and things that she learned and create her own website and monetize that skill herself without any real government interference, which is incredibly difficult to do. You can't do that being a truck driver. I mean, you could learn how to drive a big rig all day long, but get caught driving one of them big rigs without an actual formal CDL, see what happens. See, that's the issue. And this popped into my head, and I don't know why I decided to share it, but I thought, what the hell? Who remembers back in Star Wars, Mos Eisley Cantina, in the very first one that they put out back in the 70s on Tatooine, you'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. But what was it really? It was underground economy. It was a huge place centered around an economy that worked separately from the empire. No lie. And oh, by the way, just to confirm, 2019, right here, this is when I said maybe looking into Bitcoin would be a good thing. This is over here, way to the right, where it is now. It had gotten really high, and it's actually up over 60,000 again. So this isn't completely accurate yet. So it would have been a good investment then, but right now, with what the Chinese have just done, I would recommend seriously getting out of it. And this is not just me, this is coming from the chief law enforcement officer in Florida, that this might be something that it's time to walk away from. Sometimes things that are good ideas at certain times aren't good ideas at others. This is a trap that the gold people like to get people in, because they want to harken back to the good old days when gold this, gold that, gold's never been worth zero. There's a lot of things in the world that have never been worth zero. A hamburger has never been worth zero. An apple has never been worth zero. But I would take the counsel of Attorney General Ashley Moody and perhaps start, if you have large holdings in crypto, start taking those holdings. I'm not saying put them in the dollar, but perhaps start putting them into other more real, more tangible goods. And I'll leave that there. God bless. Like, share, subscribe, and we will see you guys next time.